This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, sorry. So we are going to talk about the bank reconciliation today, which is also called as BRS. And we were discussing what exactly is BRS. So Raj, go ahead.
Identify the difference between the bank balance and your book balance. That's the high level I can tell you.
Right. Yeah. That is definitely a good answer. Harman, you were also saying something. Harman, you were saying something? What is BRS?
Sorry, I was on mute. I'm talking myself. We just want to make reconciliation. Want to make sure that whatever the payments are made or whatever the payments are received, they are tallied.
Exactly. Right. It is tallying with your book balance. So your bank account is matching with whatever balances are being shown in your SAP system, right? Or any other system. So when we are talking about bank reconciliation, it is not about SAP, non-SAP. Whatever systems you are using, even if you are using Tally, in your Tally system, if you can see the bank balance is 1000 USD, this should match with the bank, actual bank balance, right? There should not be any difference. Okay, let me give the example. See, for you also, forget about companies, corporates, even as an individual also, all of us has a bank account. Okay, so let's assume you opened a new bank account. Let's assume you opened a new bank account. Okay, so let's say you opened the new bank account in maybe HSBC Bank. Now in HSBC Bank, you have a bank account. Let's say bank account number is account number 1234. Okay, so this is a new bank account that you opened. Now, when you open the bank account, normally before the bank account can be created, normally this bank representative asks you to submit some, you have to deposit some cash. Okay, so for example, the opening balance, as soon as your account is created, or let's assume there is zero balance account. So opening balance when you open the bank account is 0, right? Now you received some customer payments in your bank account. So let me enter the dates also. So opening balance as of, let's say 01/11/2020. Okay, on the first day of the month, your opening balance was 0. Now on 3rd of 11/2020, you received a customer payment. Okay, and let's say this customer payment is 1000 USD or 10,000 USD. On 5th of November 2020, you made a payment to the vendor. So you have paid to the vendor, and this payment was for, let's say, 3000 USD. Okay, finally, on let's say 10th of, which is let's say 9th, yesterday. So 9th of November 2020, you received another customer payment, okay, for 2000 USD. Now looking at this information, can you tell me, okay, let's assume all these transactions I have booked in SAP. So SAP bank balance, what is the SAP bank balance in this particular case? If I want to see this HSBC bank balance, what would be the balance?
9.
It would be 9000 USD. Okay, now let's assume you received a bank statement. From bank on 10th of November 2020. And in the bank statement, it is saying, this is correct, opening balance was 0 because you opened this new bank account. Okay, I'm just copying all these things here. But your bank says that this entry is not there at all. Can you tell me the reason? What could be the reason that this entry is not there at all?
It's not clear.
It is not
Check
clear.
issue
Maybe
is
you
not
are
clear.
given, yeah, maybe you are given the check to this vendor. Okay, on 5th of November, you given the check to this vendor. So in your SAP books, it's all showing that this 3,000 is already gone. Okay, but in the bank statement, this vendor has still not submitted this particular check in the bank. And that is the reason this transaction is not at all appearing in your bank statement. So what is happening here? There is a problem. There is a mismatch. Your balance, your SAP balance is showing something else, while your actual bank balance is showing something else. So this is, I'm just entering 3-4 transactions. Think about a company who is having thousands of transactions in a day. There are many big companies who are doing thousands of transactions in a day. So how will they keep this track? How will they know? How will they be able to identify which transactions are already posted in the bank, which transactions are not posted in the bank? So it is very difficult to keep the track. Okay, and that is the reason normally if there are many transactions in a day, the customers are performing the bank reconciliation normally on day-to-day basis. Okay, it is always better to perform this bank reconciliation on day-to-day basis. What exactly they will do in the bank reconciliation? They will verify the transactions which are posted in SAP. Are these transactions are confirmed by the bank or not? The transactions which are confirmed, for example, the transaction this one and the transaction this one, these are confirmed, these are verifying with the bank account. We will be clearly able to see this, that this transaction has been, okay, maybe I'll open this in Excel so that it will give you the better idea. So what I'm saying is, this is my transaction on 01/01/2020. Okay, this is my first transaction, is my opening balance. Okay, which is for 0. Amount is 0. On, I'll just copy this, 5th and 9th. So on 5th of 11/2020, I got a customer receipt. Okay, so I received this payment from customer. How much I received? 10,000 USD. On 7th of November 2020, I made a payment to the vendor. Okay, which is minus 5,000 USD, for example. And finally, on 9th of November 2020, I received another payment from the customer, which is for 2,000 USD. Okay, so what is showing my balance? So 10,000 plus 212 minus 5 equal to 7,000 is my closing balance. Okay, this is as per SAP in my SAP books on 10th of November 2020. This is my SAP books, but I received a bank statement. So according to bank, all these transactions are fine, but there is a small change. What is that change? This vendor payment has still not been received. Okay, this vendor has still not came to the bank and he has not still deposited the check, and that is the reason this amount is still not credited, which means your bank will show you the balance of 12,000. Now in my SAP system, I have posted this many transactions. Okay, and if I want to cross verify that my bank balance is always matching with SAP, what I will do is each and every transaction will be verified, each and every transaction which will be compared, and whatever transactions are matching, for example, this transaction matched, I will convert this into green. Okay, because this transaction is matched, so I want to tell the system that this transaction is already matched. This transaction is already matched. Okay, only which transaction is not matched now? Only this particular transaction. So this particular transaction will be shown as open till the time bank is not, I'm not able to see the bank entry into this. And why we need to have this transaction? Why we need to have this red mark? Because otherwise there may be the reconciliation issues with the bank. Let me give you one more very good example where you always want to keep a track. So for example, you know that customer has paid you on, again, let's say on, let me remove this closing balance as of now. So customer has made a payment on 9/11/2020. Okay, this is a customer payment, customer receipt. So let's assume customer has paid you the 7,000 and this is also not appearing here. Okay, so this is very important. Otherwise, you are showing that I received the amount from the customer has sent you the confirmation also, but this amount is not appearing in your bank statement. What you will do in that case? You will definitely contact bank. You will say there is some problem. I received this amount from the bank, but from the customer, but it is still not reflecting in my bank account. Right? So it is very important to identify this kind of issues. Otherwise, what will happen in your SAP system, it will show that the customer has made the payment, but actually you will never receive the amount if you are not comparing it. Okay, this is a risk. In a company, let's assume in a company where thousands of transactions are happening in a day, your customer has sent the screenshot that I have made the payment in this bank account. Okay, but when you are actually seeing the bank statement, this amount is not credited in your account at all. So you need to always keep a track of these accounts. So you want to make sure that this is read as of now. Maybe the next day statement you will verify whether this has been confirmed or not. You will wait for 2-3 days. If it is not confirmed, definitely you will go to bank and you will tell them that I never received this amount, although I have the screenshot that this has been received in this particular bank account. Or if the bank says no, we never received this amount, you will go back to customer. You will tell the customer that we have never received this much amount till now. So please ensure that this amount has been transferred. Right, so you always want to see in your SAP books how many transactions are cleared and how many transactions are still not cleared, which are still open in the bank statement. Okay, so each and every bank related transaction, each and every bank related transactions needs to be reconciled with the bank statement. Okay, any questions on understanding what is bank reconciliation now? You understood what is the concept of bank reconciliation? Let me add one more scenario. On 9th of November itself, bank has charged you some bank charges. Okay, this bank charges, you will not enter directly in SAP. Where exactly how will you know the bank has charged the bank charges? They will send you in the bank statement itself. So in the bank statement, bank has charged you, let's assume 500 as bank charges. Okay, so what is the total balance according to bank? It is 11,500. So this is the closing balance. Now this bank charges you have still not entered in SAP system. So whatever is the bank balance, it will show the closing balance, it will never match because you need to book this bank charges also into SAP. So there may be few transactions which are appearing in your bank statement, but they are not appearing in your SAP books. And there may be some transactions which are appearing in your SAP books, but they are not appearing in the bank charges. So whatever is matching, what you will do in SAP as well as in the bank statement, you will mark those transactions which are matching. So you will say this particular has been matched. This particular item also has been matched. Okay, bank charges, because they are not matching with my SAP books, so here also it will show red sign that this bank charges, although they are appearing in the bank statement, but they are not appearing in my SAP books. So at the end of the day, you want to ensure that all these items which are appearing in SAP books and the bank books, they are reconciled. If they are not, if they are red, then definitely you need to take the corrective action. So if something is appearing in the SAP books but not appearing in bank, then you need to verify with customer or vendor, or maybe you need to check with the bank what is wrong. If something is appearing in the bank statement but not in SAP, then definitely you will book these charges in SAP. Okay, or maybe if you feel that these bank charges are not accepted, you will call the bank, you will tell them, why have you charged this much amount? We don't think that this much amount should be charged. Can you reduce this amount? So accordingly, whatever has been agreed, the bank statement will be modified as it is based on maybe the next day the amount would be adjusted, and then you will be booking into the SAP system. But ultimately, these two should always match. So matching this SAP books with the bank books is nothing but bank reconciliation process. Okay, any questions on the understanding of what is bank reco, what is incoming payment, what is outgoing payment, what are bank charges, what is opening balance, what is closing balance? I think this is very clear because each one of you is receiving a bank statement. Okay, now let's understand how this will be taken care in SAP. So I'm trying to replicate the same scenario in SAP. So we'll start with number one. We will create a new bank account. I think you already know how to create a new bank account. We already discussed in AR and AP. We already have seen what is house bank, what is bank key, what is a bank account number. So we need to create a new bank account. Number two, we will configure the BRS. We need to configure the bank reconciliation system. So if you want to perform this bank reconciliation, then definitely there are some configuration activities that you need to perform. Finally, we will execute the BRS. Okay, we will see the cycle how the BRS can be executed in SAP. So this is a process that we need to follow. Starting with creation of new bank account. So let's assume any example. Maybe I will take this HDFC Bank or maybe whatever you want. So let's say Bank of America or whatever you want. I'm taking HDFC. Let's assume you opened a new bank account in HDFC. Now just remember till now, how many GL accounts we created for bank?
One.
We only created one bank account till now, right? We were doing all the transactions in the single bank account that we created till now. Okay, but normally, if you want to do this bank reconciliation, you need at least 3 GL accounts. I'll tell you why. So just remember, whenever you are creating a new bank account, you need at least 3 GL accounts, okay, for the bank reconciliation purpose. Because if I want to show the green ones separately, if I want to show the red ones separately, then I need to have separate GL accounts. All those transactions which are green, they will go to one GL account. All those transactions which are related to vendor payment but they are red, they will go to another GL account. And all those transactions which are related to customer but are red, they will go to the third GL account. So there are 3 GL accounts at least which are required. Okay, number one is I'm just giving the code. So my assets are starting with 2 and we have 4-digit code. So in this example, I'm saying my GL account 2030 is my main bank account. Okay, main bank account means which will always match with my bank. So all those transactions which are matching, for example, I received this customer receipt and I verified with the bank statement, then those transactions will be booked in this GL account. Okay, this main bank account will always match with your bank statement. I'll create 2 additional 2031. This account I will use for outgoing payments. Whenever I'm making the outgoing payment, whenever I'm making the payment to the vendor, I will be using this outgoing payment account. Similarly, I'll create one incoming payment account. Okay, so incoming payment account means, or incoming payments itself. This is also going to be the account which I'm going to use only to receive the payments. So normally, whenever I'm receiving any amount from the customers, I'll be using this incoming payments account. Okay, so at least these 3 GL accounts I need. Number one. Okay, number two, I need to create a house bank. We already know what is bank key, what is house bank. So let's take this practical example. I opened a new bank account in HDFC, maybe Bandra. Okay, this is a bank. In Bandra, I opened this bank account. So definitely, this HDFC Bandra has some address. So maybe BKC, Bandra West. I'm just writing anything. Okay, it can be any bank account, Mumbai. Okay, so this is the address. In this particular branch, I am opening the bank account. Okay, and let's assume my bank account number is 10001234. This is my bank account number. Okay, so this is my, I can call this as bank key. Okay, which is, and this is the address of the bank key, and this is my account number. Okay, and each and every bank key is created in a particular country. So bank country. So we are creating this bank key in which country? We are creating in India. So this is what we need to set up. Okay, how do we need to start? First of all, we need to create a bank key. Then we need to create a house bank of this bank key. Once the house bank is created, we will need to create an account number. We need to create a bank account. Okay, before that, let's try to create this 3 GL accounts. It is very simple. You just go to creation of GL accounts and create this 3 GL accounts. Let me start with the GL account itself. So remember, whenever you are using SAP and if you want to perform the bank reconciliation in SAP itself, then it is mandatory to create 3 GL accounts, at least 3 GL accounts. So FS00, my bank accounts will come under assets, right? It is ultimately my bank balance. So within asset, I'll see how many GL accounts are created. Anyways, I want to create a new. So I'll give this code 2030, and normally this is also the nomenclature. We use ending character as 0 for the bank account, main bank account, ending character 1 for normally incoming, and ending character 2 for outgoing. Okay, there is no such a hard and fast rule, but we prefer that. Okay, there is a reason for that, because I'll show you in the configuration. If you have this coding logic that 0 is my main bank account, 1 is my incoming, and 2 is my outgoing, then the configuration becomes easy. Okay, so just ensure that the GL account that you are creating, normally they should be in the sequence. So 0, 1, 2 is normally we used. I have seen in many companies they use 0 for main, 2 for incoming, 4 for outgoing. So there is no such hard and fast rule, but just ensure that for all the bank accounts you are following the same nomenclature. Okay, so 2030, this one I am creating as main bank account. So this is my balance sheet account. This will go under assets. Okay, and this is my HDFC Bank main account. Okay, in control data, no need to specify anything. You can go to create bank interest tab. In the field status group, there is a separate field status group for bank related GLs. We have used this previously for our bank account that we created previously, right? If you remember, initially we just created a single GL account for our transactions, but now we are creating 3 because of the bank reconciliation purpose. So I'll go for G005. Let me try to save it. Okay, ignore the warning, press enter. Same way, I will copy this to 2031. Okay, this one I'm going to use as incoming. In control data, for incoming and outgoing GL accounts, normally those are clearing accounts, those are suspense accounts. And for all the clearing and suspense accounts, we normally click on item, open item management. So for main, there is no need to tick on this, but for clearing accounts, which is incoming and outgoing, because ultimately this incoming and outgoings, these are the suspense accounts till the time the transactions are not matching with the bank statement. Once they match, everything needs to move to main bank account. The balance in incoming and outgoing should be 0. Once the balance has been matched, once the reconciliation has been completed, we want that incoming and outgoing balances to be 0. That is the reason these are clearing accounts. So for all the clearing accounts, including your GRIR, if you remember previously we discussed in integration that whenever you do the good receipt, you credit the GRIR, and when you do the invoice booking, again you debit the GRIR. So ultimately GRIR account was clearing account. So for all the clearing accounts, this open item management should be active. Okay, so this is fine. G005. Let me create one more for outgoing. So 2032. Enter. Everything should be same. Only thing is this is outgoing. Okay, so these are the 3 GL accounts that we have created. Let me try to save it. Now, once the GL accounts are created, I will start with the creation of bank key. So in the bank setup, there are 3 steps, which we already discussed previously, but we are just discussing in detail. So number 1 is create a bank key. This you will be using transaction FI01. You'll be creating a house bank using transaction FI12 and create house bank accounts. For this, you'll be using Fiori. Okay, it is not possible to do in S/4HANA. It is not possible to create the bank accounts directly using any transaction code. It has to be done through Fiori, but we can click on this Fiori screen from FI12 itself. There is an option. Previously, it was not there. Now you can go to FI12 and there is a button to create a bank account, which will open in the web browser. So we need to follow the steps. Let's go to the first step where I will create a bank key. So I'll go to transaction FI01. In bank entry IN, I'm trying to create HDFC. I think this must be already created. Let's see, enter. Yeah, you can see it is already created. Bank keys are assigned internally. Someone has made some changes, it seems. You can see someone has made some changes. So bank keys are assigned internally. System is saying this bank key will be automatically created. How to do that? This is defined at the country level. So there are some country dependent checks. Okay, since we got this error, let me show you that also. So in order to control which codings should be given to the bank accounts, what should be the account number, you can control it from the country settings. Okay, in SAP NetWeaver, this is not only for FI, this is overall country settings. We should only touch if it is very important. Okay, so SAP NetWeaver, general settings, you can see countries. Okay, just click on countries and then there are set country specific checks. So for each country, you can define some checks. For example, if I go for country India, let me double click on this. These are some checks. Okay, where you can see bank key assigned internally. Someone has changed this. Normally, it is externally, which means we can provide it manually as per our requirement. Okay, so I'm changing this to assign externally. You can control other fields also from here. That, for example, if you see length of the bank key, what is the maximum length I can have for the bank key, that you can define here. Length of the bank account number. Okay, if you want to specify that my account number should be at least 10 characters. Let's say in India, for all the banks it is uniform, 10 characters for account number. You can come here so that you can reduce the chances of errors. So someone is entering the account number, mistakenly he has entered 9 digits, system will throw error. That in the bank in country India, the bank account number should be 10 digits. So that kind of checks you can perform from here. Okay, so as of now, I just wanted to set it as externally so that I can specify the bank key according to my requirement. So HDFC, let me try, enter. Yes, good, it is not available. So this is my HDFC Bank Bandra branch. For each and every branch, I need to create a bank key because you need to provide the IFSC code. Normally in Swift BIC code, we provide the IFSC code. Okay, so you can provide the region. Region is nothing but states. So our state is 13. Okay, in case of Mumbai, it is 13. If you are creating for something else, then you need to specify accordingly. Street, I entered these details here. So this will be provided to you by the business. You need to check the details of each and every bank account that you need to create. What is the address, city, okay, bank branch. So this is Bandra branch, for example. Okay, they will be providing you the IFSC code. So let's say HDFC 00123. Let's assume this is a IFSC code. Okay, let me try to save it. So this is what I created is bank key. For each and every bank branch, I have to create a bank key. Once bank key is completed, I will go to the house bank. So FI12, This is where I need to create a house bank for different company codes. Bank key is applicable for all the company codes. I can use the bank key which I created, the bank branch that I created just now is applicable for all the company codes. I can use that bank key in any company code. Even I need to create a bank key for the customers and vendor bank accounts also. Okay, so if a customer says I have a bank account in Delhi, okay, so for that bank account also I need to create a bank key. Okay, house banks are company code relevant. So if I select my company code RECH, I can define which house bank I want to create. So house bank is like just assigning the bank key to your company code. I'll click on new entry. I'm creating a house bank for HDFC. Bank country is India. The bank key that I have created just now is HDFC. System will automatically copy the address details from the bank key. You can see this. So we are telling the system that this bank branch we are using in our company code. That's it. House bank is just the extension of bank key to your company code. Okay, let me save this. Now, once the house bank is created, the last step is creation of bank accounts, which can be done from here. If you are using ECC, you can double click here. You will not get this message. Okay, this is the message because now creation of house bank account is only possible through Fiori. Here it is only read-only access. So it will only show you if there are any bank accounts created through Fiori. Okay, but good thing is starting from I think 1709 or 1809, SAP provided this button here itself so that it will automatically take you to Fiori. So if you click on this, it will automatically open a web browser, and in this web browser you would be able to provide the bank details. You will be able to create a bank account. So opening date, when are you opening this bank account? When have you opened this bank account with the bank? Let's say it is opened on 01/11/2020, 1st of November itself. For which company code? This is for company code RECH. Who is the account holder? Account holder is company code RECH. So normally you specify here the account name or on whose account name this account has been opened. Bank country India. This is assigned to which bank key? It is assigned to bank key HDFC, which we created just now. In which currency this account is maintained? So this account is maintained, let's assume, in INR. If you are creating this bank account in European countries, then this IBAN and all is also important. So you will be getting the IBAN number similar to bank account number that we get in India. You have to provide the IBAN number. Okay, in our case, account number is mandatory. So I will copy this account number that we decided. We opened this account number with the bank. Okay, let me enter this here. Account description, whatever you want. Maybe I'll say HDFC Bank itself is my account description. HDFC Bank for RECH. Account type. This is a new field. This was not there in ECC. Okay, account type, current account, saving account, loan account. You can see there are a lot of options. So I'll say current account. Okay, once this is done, you have to click on this house bank connectivity. This is where you need to click on add, and you have to tell the system that the code, 5-digit code that you have to provide to this house bank account. So if you have multiple bank accounts in the same branch, let's assume in Bandra branch itself, we have 3 bank accounts. Okay, one in INR, one in USD, third is maintained in Euro. So you have to provide a unique code to this house bank account. So for example, this is HDFC 1, which is for INR account. Similarly, you can create HDFC 2, HDFC 3 also if you have multiple bank accounts in the same branch, in the same house bank. Okay, and this is where you need to assign to the GL account. You will be telling the system that this bank, whenever there will be any transaction done from this bank, which GL account. Okay, which GL account you will maintain here? We created 3 GL accounts: main, incoming, outgoing. Which one should I assign here?
Main.
Main.
Be always main, right? We will be always assigning the main GL account here. So 2030 is my GL account, which I'll be assigning here in the house bank creation. Okay, that's it. Your house bank account is also created now. So now if you go back, see, you can get the message here, house bank account HDFC has been created. So if you go back in the read-only mode itself, if I just come out, okay, maybe completely. So if I go to FI12 for my company code, which is RECH, within RECH, if I go to house banks, I'll be able to see a new house bank account. Within this house bank, if I want to see what are the different accounts, you can see this is the account that I created. Okay, if you want to create another account, you can simply click on maintain bank account. You can here itself, you can do it. So if you want to create a new one, account operations, click on new. It will again allow you to create a new bank account. So let's assume in the same bank, okay, I'm not trying to complicate it, but just telling you that in one bank branch, I can have multiple bank accounts. Okay, so if that is the case, you will again come here. Let's say this is also your opening on 1st of November 2020. Company code is RECH. Account holder is also RECH. Bank country is India. Same bank, HDFC Bank. Okay, currency is USD. Let's assume you opened a USD bank account also because you are getting a lot of payments in USD. So account number would be definitely different. So let's say this is 10001432 or something like that. Okay, account description. This is HDFC USD account. Okay, account type would be 01, current account. In house bank connectivity, I'll be connecting it with the same bank account. Okay, but for each and every bank account, remember your GL account should be different. Otherwise, if multiple bank accounts are having the same GL accounts, you will not be able to see the proper balances in your GL account. Right, so that is the only difference. The GL account must be different for each and every bank account, not for house bank. For each, if I have 10 bank accounts in the same branch, for all those 10 bank accounts, I need per bank account 3 GL accounts. So you can assume what would be the count of the GL accounts from the bank point of view. In some of the projects, you may find if there are multiple banks, if there are multiple countries, the count of the bank GL account itself is more than the count of all the other GL accounts. So that is completely possible. There is no need to worry about that. Okay, so I'm just assigning this basic one because I don't want to process BRS for this particular account as of now, but this would be my HDFC bank account number 2. Okay, let me try to save it. So I should be able to see these 2 bank accounts under the same branch. Okay, if I again go back, FI12 for my bank account, which is company code RECH. Within RECH, if I go to house banks, within HDFC, I'll be able to see 2 bank accounts. One is HDFC 1, second is HDFC 2. HDFC 1 is maintained in INR and HDFC 2 is maintained in USD. Okay, this is where you will be able to see the GL account. Okay, so now our bank account is ready. Bank account setup is done. So new bank account is created. Now we need to go to the next step where we need to configure the bank reconciliation system. But before I do the bank reconciliation system, let me first show you how my transactions will work. Okay, so let's assume I am creating a new vendor invoice. I will go to FB60. Okay, I'm trying to book a new vendor invoice. Let me book it under this vendor. This is my invoice date. Okay, I'm just entering some reference. Let's say test itself. Amount. Okay, let's say this is vendor has sent me the invoice of 10,000. This is going to be my revenue, sorry, expense account, star, and I need to provide the cost center. Okay, so I just now booked the invoice. Now let's assume I am getting the payment. Sorry, I need to make the payment. I'm not getting, I need to make the payment. If I want to make the payment, let's assume I want to do the manual payment. In that case, I'll go to transaction F-53. Okay, I'll enter the payment date. Now, which GL account, which bank GL account you will specify here? There are three bank accounts: main bank account, outgoing account, incoming account.
Outgoing.
Outgoing, right? Because you are making the post outgoing payments. Whenever you are using outgoing payments, you have to tell the system which account would be credited. Main bank account will not be credited now, because main bank account will be only credited once it is verified with the bank account. Once it is verified with the bank statement. So till the time we are sure that this one we are posting in SAP, but it may not come in bank account immediately, till that time we will be using the clearing accounts. So whenever we are making the payment, we will use this 2031, which is our, I think 2032, whatever it is. Let me check. 2032 is our outgoing bank account, right? So I'll be using this outgoing bank account. How much amount I am paying? I am paying this 10,000. Okay, value date, because it is a bank account, so 10/11/2020, and this is where I'll be telling the system for which vendor, to which vendor I'm paying. So I'm paying to this vendor. I'll go to process open items. Okay, and the last invoice that I created just now is this one. So I'll select and deactivate all, and I will be selecting just the single invoice, this one. Okay, I don't want any discount. I just want to reduce the complications, right? So 10,000. So this 10,000 I am paying to this vendor. Okay, same way I'll book one invoice. I will book one FB70 customer invoice. This customer, again the same date. This is my reference. Okay, how much amount? Let's say this customer I'm billing 1,000. Okay, here I'll enter the revenue account. So my revenue account is this one. This is going to be 1,000, and I'll be entering the profit center. Okay, so this is my profit center. Let me save it. So now whenever this customer will be paying to me, I will go to transaction F-28. Okay, here also I'll mention my payment date. Which account I should enter here? Which bank account? When I'm receiving the payment.
Incoming clearing.
It could be incoming clearing account. So 2031 I'll be using to receive the amount. Okay. I'm getting the amount from which customer? I think it was 199 something. So RECH, this particular. Okay, process open item. An entry is required in the value date. Value date is mandatory field, so I need to enter the value in the value date for bank accounts. Whenever I'm doing any transaction related to the bank account, value date is mandatory based on my field status. Okay, so which one I created now? This one. So I will deselect this and I will proceed with this payment. Okay, so now what is the bank balance? What should be my bank balance in my SAP books?
0.
0. I received 1,000. I made the payment of 10,000.
Difference of 9,000.
So, okay, maybe Herman, if you are saying my balance in the main bank account is 0, that is correct. But if you are saying the overall bank balance is 0, that is wrong.
Because we are not clear it yet.
Okay, let me show you. So normally to check the balances, I normally go to FBL3N or to see the line items. I want to see the, whenever you want to see the balance of a bank account, you have to provide all the 3 GL accounts. Then only it will give you the consolidated balance. Right? If I go for all items, execute, see it is showing you in my incoming bank account, there is a balance of 1,000. In my outgoing balance account, there is a balance of 10,000, and nothing is available in my main bank account because I have still not performed the reconciliation. Only if I perform the reconciliation and whatever items will match according to my bank statement, those will get clarified from here and they will move to the main bank account. So as of now, nothing in my main bank account. What does it mean? That means that the reconciliation is still not happened, or if the reconciliation is happened, these values are still not matching with my bank statement. So whatever values you are able to see in incoming, this means these are those transactions which are not matching with my bank statement, which means these are RAID transactions as of now. If they are still not matching, they are RAID. Whatever transactions will match once I upload the bank statement, if my transactions are matched, then those will convert to green. Okay, let me try to replicate the same scenario. So this one, I just now posted 1000. Okay, let me try to post one more transaction for customer payment itself. For 10,000. Okay, this one I posted on 10th. This one I'll post on 5th. So let's assume I'll create another invoice. So I'll go to FB70. Same customer, same invoice date is also fine. I'm not worried about invoice date. Amount is 1000, let's say. Okay, sorry, amount is 10,000. We want GL account, 3000 for revenue. This should be star for 10,000 and the profit center. Okay, let me try to save it. Now again, I'll receive the payment in the incoming bank account. So F-28. Okay, this one, value date. This is my incoming account. How much amount I'm getting? I'm getting 10,000. My value date, I'll keep it as 05. Value date is the date which you want to book it into your bank register. Okay, it has nothing to do with the document date, posting date. Ultimately, your bank date is value date. So 05/11/2020. You will select your customer, process open item, and you will just make the payment of or receive the payment of this 10,000. Okay, which means as of now, this is red. Sorry, this is everything is red. This is red. This is also red. Okay, when it comes to vendor, let's assume I already made the payment of how much? 10,000 on 10th itself. Okay, and let me remove this to avoid the confusion. These are the transactions which we have posted till now. So according to SAP books, all the 3 lines are in red because I have still not received any bank statement. Forget about this. I have still not received any bank statement. And what is my total balance? My total balance should be 1000 in SAP. Let me verify it. So if I go and see my line items, okay, and if I just execute for all the 3 GL accounts, all items execute. So 11,000 incoming, 10,000 outgoing. What is my total balance? Total balance as per my SAP books is 1000. Okay, but these are all in red because they are still not reconciled with bank. Okay, and that is the reason you can see these are all showing in red here also. These are the GL accounts which are maintained in open item basis. Open item basis means till the time these accounts are not matching with my bank reconciliation, they will be shown as red, open. Once they match with my bank statement, then they will be converted to green. Right? So after performing these transactions, let's assume for 10 days you perform the transactions and after 10 days you receive the statement. And in your statement, you received that this invoice is clearly affecting. This payment is clearly affecting. This payment is also affecting, but this payment, or maybe these 2 payments which you received from the customers are available in your bank statement. But this vendor, the payment that you made on 10th, you have given the check, but this vendor has still not submitted this check in the bank. And that is the reason this 2 will turn into green and this 1 will remain in open. This 1 will show in red. Okay, so whatever comes under red, this means it is not reconciled with bank. Whatever comes under green, it means it has been reconciled and it has been transferred. The balance will become 0 here and that will be transferred in the main bank account. Okay, so that is exactly what is called as bank reco. And how to do the bank reco? So in order to do the bank reco, obviously the first thing that we need is we need to set up the configuration. So all the configurations related to bank reconciliation, you would be able to do in IMG, financial accounting itself. You have a separate folder for bank accounting. Open this bank accounting. In business transactions, you will be able to see payment transactions. And in the payment transactions, you would be able to see manual bank statement and electronic bank statement. Okay, we will see both. First, I'll show you manual, then we need to add 2 additional steps and it will become electronic. So first, let me show you the manual bank statement. In manual bank statement, you have to start with the second activity. Define the posting keys and posting rules for manual bank statement. This is a mandatory configuration. Okay, so open this, specify your chart of account, enter. Okay, now here you need to tell the system what are the different type of transactions you are going to do with your bank. Can you tell me all the transactions that you are expecting? Different transactions in bank accounting. What are the different transactions that you will be doing on day-to-day basis?
Yeah, incoming payments and outgoing payments.
Mainly incoming payments, outgoing payments. Okay, so I'll say INC for incoming, I'll say OUT for outgoing, and maybe bank will charges, bank will send you some charges. So CHG. So this is for incoming, this is for outgoing, and this is for charges. Okay, sometimes there may be returns and all, but I'm just keeping it simple. Incoming, outgoing, charges. Let's say these are the 3 type of transactions which you are going to do on day-to-day basis. So these transactions you need to create as the account symbols. So new entry, let's say I'm creating RC-INC as incoming, RC-OUT as outgoing, and RC-CHG as my charges. So this is RECH. Okay, why I'm giving this RECH? Just to identify ours, because you will be able to see a lot of incoming, outgoing in the test system. So just to make sure that you are not getting confused and you are not changing the others ones, you can just provide your own suffix. So RECH, this is going to be my charges. Okay, and also you need to create an accounting symbol for main bank account also. So RC, this is my main bank account. Okay, main means which is always going to reconcile with your bank statement. Okay, once you do this, click on save, and you need to assign the GL accounts to each and every accounting symbol. We already created the separate GL account for outgoing, separate GL account for incoming, separate GL account for main. We need to create one more GL for bank charges. Okay, this will be expense account. This will not come under the assets. This will be the expense account. Okay, so we need to assign this 4 accounting symbols to their GL accounts. So I'll click on new entry. My first symbol is RC INC, second is RC OUT, third is RC main, and last one is RC CHG. Okay, for all the currencies, irrespective of in which currency I'm doing the transaction, if you want a separate GL account per currency, you can specify the currency. Otherwise, if it is a single GL account, you can maintain the GL account here. So for incoming, we have 2031, right? For outgoing, we have 2032. For main, we have 2030. And for charges, we have to create a GL account. If it is already created, you can use it because you don't need a separate GL account for bank. Same GL account can be used for the multiple banks also. So you can see bank charges I already created 4011. This is just a normal expense account. So primary cost, in control data, you will enter the primary cost element, that is 01, and in create bank interest G004. So just like a normal expense account. Okay, So here you will go and you will assign 4011 to bank charges. Okay, sometimes if you want to avoid specifying the GL account for per GL account per bank, okay, so in our case 2031 is only for one bank, right? If I have multiple banks, okay, then again and again I am not going to create this separate accounting symbol for each and every bank. So normally what we do, there is something called as masking, which means you can tell the system, this is called as masking. So my incoming bank account will always end with 1. My bank accounts will always start from 2. Okay, my outgoing bank account will always start from 2 and it will end at 2. Okay, so in this case, if I do this, then all my bank accounts should be fit in this, what you can say, in this scheme. Okay, what do you mean by scheme? Scheme means your GL accounts are 4-digit, your bank accounts are starting with 2. Okay, in between it can be anything. Ultimately, if it is ending with 1, it is my incoming account. If it is ending with 2, it is my outgoing account. Okay, so you can do like this also, but let me keep it simple as of now. So I will go with 2031, 2032. Okay, let me save it. So we have assigned the GL account. We have told the system that whenever you are going to do any incoming, this GL account should be posted. Whenever you are doing any outgoing, this GL account to be posted. Third one is create the keys for posting rule. Now here you need to tell the system what are the different type of transactions. Again, the same thing. So I'll say maybe coding can be different, but ultimately it means same. So this is 4 digits. So you have to restrict to 4 digits. Let's say RINC for incoming, ROUT for outgoing, and RCHG for charges. You don't need to provide main here because main is not a transaction. These are the only 3 transactions that you can do. You can do incoming, you can do outgoing, or you can do the charges. So this is again RECH incoming, RECH outgoing, okay, RECH, you can say interest and charges. So whatever is the expense, if bank is charging you interest or if bank is charging you some charges, they can all come under this posting rule. Save it. And last one is for each of this posting rule, you need to tell the accounting impact. So can you tell me what will happen when the incoming, can you tell me what will happen whenever any incoming posting is happening? So for example, in case of vendor transaction, when we posted vendor invoice, what was the accounting impact? When you posted the vendor invoice, what was the accounting impact? Expense account, debit to vendor account credit. When you made the payment, what was the accounting impact?
Vendor debit, account credit.
Vendor debit to
And account credit.
bank
Clearing.
account. Which bank account?
Clearing.
Outgoing bank. Right? Now what will happen at the time of BRS? What BRS will do? Why we are doing the BRS? If BRS will match with this outgoing payment, what will happen?
That one and credit the main.
Right, so main account should be credited. Bank main account should be credited once it matches with the bank statement, and this clearing account would get debited. Ultimately, the balance in the outgoing bank account will become 0 as soon as the bank has confirmed that yes, this transaction has been done in the bank account. Right, so this will happen when, in case of incoming. This is happen in case of the incoming transaction. Whenever a bank is saying that there is a, sorry, this will happen at the time of outgoing because it is a vendor payment. So whenever in the bank statement, you can see the line item related to outgoing, you want the system to post this accounting impact. In the bank statement, if you can see that there is some debit entry, the amount has been deducted from your bank account. Okay, you want the system to post this accounting impact. Outgoing bank account debit to main bank account credit. That is the reason we created different accounting symbols. So here you need to tell that rule to the system. So new entry, whenever the transaction is outgoing, ROUT, the one that we created just now, in posting area 1, I'll tell you what is posting area 2. Let me first complete posting area 1. Bank accounting, because I want to debit and credit the bank related GLs. Outgoing bank account I want to debit and main bank account I want to credit. That is the reason I'm selecting this main bank account. So what I want to debit posting key is always 40 when it comes to the GL account. Okay, and credit posting is 50 for GL account. Which GL account I want to debit? I want to debit outgoing account and I want to credit main bank account. So this is where you need to tell the system. So what is the account symbol of my outgoing bank account? Just now we created RC something, RC star. So outgoing account will be debit and main account, which is RC dash main account, will get credit. What would be the document type of this posting? You can define any document type. So I'm saying it will be document type SA. Posting type, you can select post to GL account or you can select clear the debit GL account, because let me show you in Excel. So ultimately this outgoing bank account is getting credited here and it is getting debited here. So this credit and debit should be knocked off with each other, right? The system should automatically clear these two line items. If you want that, then you have to tell the system clear the debit line item, and that is exactly what I'm doing here. So I'm telling the system clear the debit GL account. Okay, that's it. Just save it. There is some error. Do not enter the posting key. Okay, let me remove the posting key. And the data is saved. System will automatically take the posting key because I'm telling the system not to just post but also to clear. Okay, same way for customer, what will happen? So if I create a new entry, this is for RINC for incoming. Posting area again 01. So let me enter the postings here for customer invoice. So when customer invoice is booked, what will happen? Customer account, right? Customer account debit to revenue account credit, right? When the customer will make the payment, initially it will go to the customer will get credit, right? What will be debited? Incoming bank account, right? We have seen this posting. Then what will happen at the time of BRS?
Incoming credit.
Incoming credit, right?
Main bank debit.
Exactly. So main bank account will become debit and our incoming account will become credit. So this is exactly what we need to maintain here. We need to set up a rule for this: main account debit, incoming bank account credit, whenever any incoming line is coming in the bank statement. So for incoming, posting key 40 should be main bank account. Okay, so RC dash main. Here I don't need to specify the posting key. Similar to previously, I have not specified the posting key. Here it should be RC dash incoming. I want to credit. Document type I am keeping SA, and this time the clearing should be done for credit item. So clear the credit GL account. Okay, save it. Done. Last one is for charges. So I'll create another one. This is posting rule for charges, bank charges. Okay, this is bank accounting. Here, what will happen if my bank charges are, if bank is charging me the bank charges, what should be the accounting entry? What would be the accounting entry if bank is charging me bank charges?
Bank charges account debit to the bank.
Debit or
Outgoing
bank credit or credit.
Bank charges debit, expense account. Credit?
Outgoing bank.
Why outgoing bank? Bank has already confirmed.
The main bank.
It is already available in the bank statement, right? So why should I book in the outgoing? If it is already confirmed by bank, it will directly go to main bank. Right? So main bank account credit. Bank charges debit to main bank account credit. Same thing you will just specify here. So we created 40/50. Here there is no clearing. So 40/50 directly. And account symbol 40 is going to be bank charges. The one that we created, which is RCCHG. Okay, and here main bank account, which is RC-main. Document type SA, posting type just normal post to GL account, no clearing required because we are not clearing here, we are just posting additional entry. Okay, just save it. So your bank reconciliation posting configuration, most of the things are done.